Hey guys, before this video starts, I just wanted to quickly mention that we're going to be doing a Halloween live stream on October 31st, Halloween night, starting at around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I, Alex, am going to be playing Friday the 13th, Costume Quest 2, and South Park. So make sure you join us on Podcast Now at youtube.com. We're going to be live streaming that night, just playing those 3 games, having some fun. I'll be talking to you guys through live stream, anything you want to talk about, just, a nice little hangout to celebrate Halloween together. So I will see you guys there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Live, episode 57. I am Alex. This is Ange. We got her back for this episode. This is our bonus episode of the month. Again, the bonus episode for both Podcast Now Live and Gamescast Now come out the last Sunday of every single month. So we did one last month. We talked about It and It 2. Mm-hmm. That was our kind of thing.
It 2?
Well, we kind of talked about where it was going.
The sequel.
It. Gotcha. So we did that last time, and then this is ours for this time. So this goes up the last Sunday of every month. We also have the episode that just came out last week, and they go up every other week at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We did a lot of Halloween stuff. This one's not Halloween-oriented, Ange, unless you really zoom in on one movie and then bend the rules.
Yeah, I'm sure we can twist it.
So we did this idea, like an actor spotlight, and we did it twice. One without you, one with you.
I was going to say, I'd only remember
We did one with, what was it, Sean Bean? Is that who? Or,
I don't know.
Who was it? We did.
Oh, no, you wanted, Gerard
Butler. It was Gerard Butler. We did one on Gerard Butler. It was me and Zach. Really weird first choice. And then we did one.
Weird.
Then we did one later on Will Ferrell, which was more up my personal alley. I like Will Ferrell a lot. So
that's the one that I. Yeah.
That's when you were here, and I think there was another person. I don't think it was just you and me.
I don't know.
No, I think it was somebody else. So this time we're gonna talk about somebody that we like quite a bit. Is in one of the more popular films really to come out in the last 20 so years is Emma Watson. So we're just gonna have a discussion about her, what we like about her.
She's perfect and amazing, and an angel sent from up there.
So known mainly for Harry Potter. So what do we think of her most recognizable role as Hermione Granger?
Perfect part, perfect person, just everything.
Yes.
Her, for Harry Potter and Hermione, the character, she starts off very
cleaning Harry's glasses or fixing them. That's the first thing she does.
Yeah, like a know-it-all, and this girl who's very insecure, but also very just she knows how smart she is.
Yeah.
And then she just gets, the older she gets, her appearance changes, and she starts to really just be more softer and less a know-it-all, but she still is know-it-all, but whatever. But I think she killed it with that part, completely.
I think so.
It was
too.
The best casting choice ever.
I think so. I think now when they do, even when they're doing the music, or when they're doing the Broadway show and they're changing stuff up, it's not even race or anybody they put in. It's just the fact that Hermione is Emma Watson.
Yeah.
And so if you have anybody other than her, it just doesn't work.
And it's so weird to see now, because she is she's still in her everyday life, she is smart, and I think she went to Brown.
Yeah,
or
she went to
something,
some
she's a U.S. ambassador for the UN. She is gung-ho on women's rights and all this stuff, and it's so funny to see, because that is Hermione too, it's just so, it's cute. I don't know, she fits the, if any, on Broadway, or if they did God forbid sequel or remakes or whatever, it would just be terrible, because you can't have anyone else but Emma Watson as Hermione.
I think she was the best fit for the role that any of the 3 were. Of the 3, I think.
Yeah. Rupert Grint, I think, was a really good Ron, but Harry, they were fine, but Emma Watson definitely just made the role her own.
To the point where it's you don't know if present day, if that's Hermione that rubbed off on her, or that was always her,
right?
That,
you
that
never
fit
know,
the role of, because they pretty much had the exact same thing. So I agree with you. I think early on she was I always liked her character. I think she ended up probably becoming my favorite, in the sense that She really was, like, she's not the most powerful wizard, but she's the most intelligent.
I was gonna say she uses her knowledge to,
and she she basically helps Harry in the first one figure it out. So you can give her credit for that. And then as you go on, I just always appreciate that maybe she's not the most like just gifted just to start off with being, Harry only knows 2 spells.
Oh my God, I knew you were going to bring that up.
He only knows how to do 2 things, and neither of them are actual attacks. One is Stupefy is an attack, and then Expelliarmus is just a disarm. That's all he can do. But and that's another reason why I think she's an important character, especially more in the books than the movies, right? Is because like there's all these spells, and there's a lot to like learn about the world that they're living in, and you mainly learn it from her. Yep. Because she's the one who reads all the books. She's the one who knows all the spells. That's where you'll hear, even in the movies, when there's limited to probably 10 spells or under, she's probably the one that introduces like 6 of them.
She introduces them to like everything. Like that, she'll either tell them something or they'll just like go off of what she says. And like, so I mean, the only reason why I feel like the only reason why they were so successful is because of her. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is now a character spotlight instead
Hermione.
of yeah.
And it's weird too, because I tend to, when I think of movies, movies tend to have like that person that like pushes the stuff forward by like knowing things. Yeah. And it's just funny that they tend to be, maybe not just to me, but to a lot of other people, like they tend to be even the best character, even though they're not the main character.
They might not be the most liked, but they're the most.
Yeah. So like the comparison. Needed. Yeah. The comparison I can bring to the front is we have a lot of Pirates videos, Pirates of the Caribbean, and in that series, Barbossa is probably one of the best characters ever in that movie.
Isn't that
that's
a
Jeffrey
villain?
Yes, he was the villain in the first one, and then he became a good guy. Oh. But the thing that was so special about him is he's basically just like an encyclopedia. You learn so much about you learn so much about like what kind of world they're living in by him. He's just like a book, like he just knows everything. And now they're doing that with like the Karina, and that's like Hermione. So I tend to feel like movies do have to, and it depends on how well they do. Like the character that'll like push it along or always knows something. Like they don't have to be good characters. So that's credit to Emma Watson too, because you do have to be like actually likable. But a lot of movies have that.
I feel like every role that she's been in that I've seen, and she hasn't really done that much.
She took a long break.
Yeah, well, because she was going to school and she was more academic. But like every role that I've seen from her, it just highlights another part of her character. If that makes sense.
Sing.
Well, I was thinking like in Beauty and the Beast, like she has. I act like I actually like know her, but whatever. Like Belle is like this nurturing person who looks more inside than your actual appearance, and I feel like that really shines through when she talks about like women's rights and everything that goes with like human rights and all that stuff. Like I just feel like she's a very like to her core she is just kind. Yeah. And it's just weird that like every role that she's been in, it highlights another part of who she actually is. Right. Which I think if I was an actress, I'd want to do that, because you need to have some connection to your role. And like you can understand the character that you're playing, but it's complete, like the acting is completely different if you identify with it too, which I feel like she does a really good job of picking roles that like she understands because it's a part of her too.
Yeah, there's like no coincidence that she didn't get the roles because of like a part of her connected to it.
Oh,
like,
for
she
sure.
She basically is Hermione. She basically is Belle.
Yeah,
we haven't seen. You never saw The Circle, right?
I
we
didn't
were talking about that. I mean,
but that's kind of like that movie didn't get a lot of marketing too, which I'm surprised, because it was like Emma Watson and Tom Hanks and stuff. They're big wigs. Like you would think that they would do, like people would talk about it more, but I didn't really see anything.
There was definitely that movie is very interesting in terms of like the message, the whole spying on you and keeping it all.
Yeah, and I think that really,
very much realistic. It's kind of weird how they do it, but without seeing it, what we do see from the trailers that it's seen, I mean, if you guys have seen it, you can let us know, but what it does seem is she seems to be on the side, again, of, like, the everyday person of, like, we don't want our privacy.
And, like, question the system.
Yeah, questioning why they would do that.
Yeah, and, like, question society and the fundamentals of how we live our life, and I feel like that's just
Would you ever want to see her do something that's not her, like, be a villain? or something? Would you ever want her to
I
branch
feel like
out? Because I feel like
so.
those are also cool opportunities where you don't really.
I think so, yeah. It's either, it's funny because when you said that, I thought of Anne Hathaway because in The Dark Knight Rises, she's Catwoman and she's like very sly and but like
she's not like
No, so I feel like either it depends because Anne Hathaway is a really good actress and she's very well known and she like is in high regard. But when I was watching her as Catwoman, I couldn't I just didn't get it because I just view her in the roles that she's played so much that's just completely out of the ordinary, which I think can be it can highlight what you can do as an actress, but at the same time, you've got to sell it.
Right.
Like, I'm not this person that, she was in Les Mis, she was Princess Diaries, like, all this, like, not really dark movies.
Yeah.
And The Dark Knight, is kind of dark, but, like, it's, I don't know, she's more of, like, a villain.
Yeah, her role is, like, very gray in that, too.
Yeah, but I feel like if Emma Watson were to play a villain,
that would really then it would really come down to her acting.
I think and how she can sell it.
Yeah.
I think she'd be able to do it, but in my mind, it's like, I don't think she'd ever do it because for her, it's like I said, in my opinion, she has to like connect to the role. And like, obviously there's dark sides to everyone, but I don't know if when
you play the villain, you always tend to look at like their point of view, how it's a good thing from their point of view. So maybe she, I think when it comes to doing that, more so with villains, but you can stretch it to anything, is you really do like just looking at someone, you could be like, he's and you can kind of get like typecasted as just one thing, like you could just look like you're a villain. Like it kind of even like Javier Bardem kind of has fallen into just being he was in the James Bond movie as the second, not this past one, but the one before. He would like take out his jaw. He was Salazar in Pirates 5. So him. He was in Mother with that's him. With Anne Hathaway.
Okay, I knew I heard
Anne Hathaway with what's her stupid face, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's kind of, I would assume he's on the opposite end of in that movie Mother, right? So he's on the villain. So like he's kind of like just doing villain roles now, but you can like look at it and be like, I can like see it.
Yeah, he like fits the part, but
and different, and for her, I think it'd be like reverse. Like you see her as like this sweet, nurturing person.
I don't think if she ever did a role that was kind of like a villain, I don't think it'd be like full on villain. I think it'd be like a psychological thriller. Like we're gonna like think that she's this nice person, and then like by the end she just goes like batshit crazy. Like that would be cool.
Or it's like. Or even like it's a nice or like a good person, and they have to do bad things to accomplish some sort of like maybe when she gets older, like she has a kid in the movie and she has to do something to save the kid. She's still a good person, but it kind of strains like how far you go. Some generic plot like that.
It's kind of like Angelina Jolie, like she's like this badass, but
and she did Maleficent, which had a lot of.
It had a lot of like soft undertones too. Like the reason why she's this way now is because of how she was before. And like I feel like I put them in the same category when it comes to villains, because Angelina Jolie has played like a villain before, but it's not like hardcore like I'm bad and I'm gonna kill you type shit. Like I want to be able to see her like that.
And again, it is kind of like a perfect time for somebody like Emma Watson, if you ever wanted to throw her in that role too, because I think more and more the thing that I look for movies, but I think movies in general are trying to do more often than not now, is make the villain way more relatable.
Oh,
I think that's
course.
super important. Like 5-10 years ago, the villain was just like bad.
The villain was just bad, and
like,
you
was
were
bad
supposed to hate.
Yeah,
like you weren't supposed to understand why. You just had to take it how it is. But now I feel like there's so many.
Now I feel like if you do that, it's kind of like shallow, and like there's just not a lot to it.
Well, because
I feel like they're not putting a lot of energy.
And like it's kind of like a moral stance too. Like it depends on how you think. Like if you think people are just born evil, or the society or something in their life has made them that way, like doesn't matter what you think along those lines. But the fact is, like villains always have a story, but they don't get the recognition just because like that's not the point. The point is to highlight the hero and not highlight the villain, but
Right.
like there could be so many things
Yep.
to a villain that they don't even want to explore because that's not the point.
Right. Yeah, they don't like start off as villains.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in older movies, they're just there, and it's like, oh, they've just always been bad, which doesn't really make sense. Like, they have to have a reason. And nowadays, they always do. Nowadays, I look for it so much to, like, okay, firstly, I'm going into a movie, I want to understand why the villain, quote unquote, because a lot of times the villain may not even be the villain.
Right.
Quote unquote, why is the villain the villain? And secondly, I need that reason to be believable enough to me
To
that
not
makes
like
me,
this person.
Yeah, but it also makes me think that reason is enough to push that person
Right.
to it.
No,
So
you're
like,
right.
and that's another thing with like Pirates 5, like going in, I wanted to know why the villain is the villain. I wanted to know the reason, and that reason better have been good enough to explain why he acts the way he does now.
And that's kind of like Voldemort in Harry Potter, because that's why the 6th book is my favorite, because they actually dive into, you know, his background and kind of what made him be the way that he is now. And I mean, reading it, it's like, okay, now I understand him more, and it doesn't make me like or hate him less, but it's a different, I don't know, there's so much depth to it now.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. It's like when they explore, like, not just the hero, but the bad guy too, because I mean, it's not just about the hero.
No, it really isn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Emma Watson.
I was going to say Emma Watson.
But but that helps. That helps. Why? Because she can make it believable that she, you know, because you can be and movies have done it where it is kind of like a good person as the villain role doing something that they very much believe, but maybe it's just so far out, but it's real to them.
Right.
But it just all it has to do. The only thing the villain has to do is conflict with the hero.
Yes.
That's all it has to do.
And that's what makes him the villain,
That's what makes
which
him the villain.
it's kind
That's
of
the
stupid
old
for me.
third grade protagonist, antagonist.
Yeah.
Antagonist isn't bad. It's just the anti-protagonist. It's just the opposite of the protagonist. Yeah. So I think like the stage would be set for her to do something.
That'd be honestly, it'd be cool.
I just want to like see more of her movies, because really, to be honest, we've only listed 2 franchises, and one is just a single film, is you know, Beauty and the Beast.
But the thing is too, which I like, if for her, like, she's an actress and she's very well known, but she's not using her, like, her being an actress, like, started her career, but now she's definitely branched out more into topics that she's more passionate about, and it's like, it's cool to see, but at the same time.
Wasn't there like talk of her like not doing a lot of acting after Beauty and the Beast anyway?
I remember vaguely hearing about that too, and it's because there's more issues that she wants to address, and she now has the platform to do it, and she's now well known. It's like, why would I act when I can be a U.S. ambassador, or if I can speak at women, like, I can speak about women's rights and things like that, which I commend her for, but at the same time, I'm like, oh man, I wanna.
And she's still, she's 27, so she's not super old.
No,
so she
she's
still
got
has years
time
left
to do things.
Yeah, so I look forward to, you know, she's a great actress, just like out there.
She's perfect.
Yeah, Hermione was probably one of my favorite. Did we ever do favorite characters? I think we did in that Harry Potter podcast.
I don't know, but we should do like character spotlights too. That'd be fun.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, I think Hermione probably would be one of my favorites.
My 2 favorite.
Dumbledore is my favorite, so I draw the line there. But maybe she's second. I think we talked about this like 2 years ago.
I was gonna say,
but she's definitely one of the best, not just like acting wise in Harry Potter, because they were all awful in the first 2 anyway.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of character and in terms of like character development, like you said, like the stuff that she goes through and how she really transforms as a character, she's one of the best characters.
Oh, for sure.
In the movie,
and
arguably better than Harry and Ron.
I think
way
so
better
too.
than Ron.
Yeah.
For sure. Ron sadly gets the last spot always.
Yeah.
But Harry, you know,
out
I liked
of the 3
him.
of them, Hermione is definitely my favorite. Secondary characters, like Ginny is my girl all the way. And like, that's what sucks about the movies. It's like they don't highlight her. Like, she is a perfect mix between all of the brothers combined, and you don't see that unless you read the books.
Right.
I love Ginny. Like, I'm gonna name my future dog after Ginny.
Future dog.
Yeah, my future dog.
I thought you were gonna say kid.
Nope, my future dog. I'm gonna name Ginny.
Well, let us know in the comments below what you guys think of Emma Watson. Have you seen any of her movies? Has anybody seen The Circle?
If we're missing any movies that we should be seeing, you let me know.
I'm almost positive we've probably missed one.
Probably.
We've only Harry Potter, Beauty and the Beast, The Circle. There's got to be another film she's done at some point. You know, Daniel Radcliffe and what's his name? Rupert Grint. He's done he's popped up and done an indie movie, then gone away forever. Then come back. So maybe she did that right after.
He started an Ed Sheeran music video randomly, and then just kind of started chilling.
He's such an interesting guy.
He really is.
And he basically has just been hiding over the past
He has. I mean, he's probably loaded from Harry Potter. They must still get royalties and shit.
For sure.
Why wouldn't he just chill for a little bit?
Yeah, why not? You worked hard.
Yeah.
And he was the oldest. And that's another thing too, is Hermione or Emma Watson was the youngest of the three.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It went Ron, Harry, her.
Oh.
She's the youngest. Daniel Radcliffe's 28, 29, and he's 30, 31. And she's 27. So she was the youngest. I think it went up by one, actually, 27, 28, 29.
Really?
So they were, in the first movie, I always go by.
They were 13.
She was always the closest to the real age, because
11,
you start at 11.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was, 12? She was close to.
That makes sense, because Daniel Radcliffe, I'm more than certain, was 13.
So she was 12. So she was I always remember that. I was she's the closest to the actual age they should be. Mm-hmm. Because as it got older and older, it was okay, they're not. Yeah, Ron does not deserve to be in year 3 when he's clearly in year 8, which isn't a real thing, right? Isn't there 7 years in Hogwarts? Mm-hmm. That's the sad part of the aging of human bodies.
It's true.
So, again, let us know what you guys think of Emma Watson in the comments below. Again, this has been our bonus episode of Podcast Now Live. The next episode will go up next week. I'll go check out our Gamescast, our gaming podcast. It's also up today, the bonus episode. That comes out this week. Podcast Now Live the week after. Every other week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. November, we'll probably do some Thanksgiving stuff. December, you can bet your bottom dollar we'll be talking about Christmas.
Oh my God,
every day. Yeah. Not even just every topic, every day. So we will see you guys there. Just to let you guys know, we're going to be doing a Star Wars Battlefront 2 Community Day event on Sunday, November 19th and Sunday, November 26th, where Tyler and I will be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 from 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we want to play with you. Those who have Star Wars Battlefront 2, we welcome you to play with us. We'll be collecting your names and hopefully being able to get into groups with you. We want to play with you, and we're giving you some incentive to do such. We're going to be giving away one $25 Fandango gift card to a person that plays with us on each event, as well as one $15 Fandango gift card to somebody who watches us on each event. So both events are going to have one set each of the gift cards, $125 and $115 for events 1 and 2. Again, this is taking place November 19th to the 26th. We hope to see you there.